listen to the show and peep what these dudes bring. If you didn't know, it's an orange and blue thing. Hope to win the championship and a few rings. We're talking baseball. It's an orange and blue thing. Walk off if the game's tied like shoestrings. It's a Mets podcast, orange and blue thing. Beat the other team with defense and a few swings. LFGM, it's an orange and blue thing.
What's up, Mets fans? Julia's laughing already. I moved the microphone. That was not a fart. I moved the little arm here.
I think you might as well just do the fart button at this point.
Well, I guess.
Start it off
it's
hot.
a little early for the fart button, isn't it? All right. Happy Monday, guys. August 2nd, 2021. This is our 23rd episode of the season.
No way.
Yeah, we are in August. I feel like the season is flying by. I think we talked about it last week, how quick the summer seems to go by once you are an adult. And you're going through your dog drama. If anything comes up throughout the show and you have to get out of here,
I think we're good.
Let me know.
I think we're okay for right now. Fingers crossed.
You know, Julia's weekly crisis. Last week she got shit on. This week she's dealing with a sick dog.
Is doing a lot of shitting.
And I feel bad for the dog.
I know,
obviously.
I do too. She's very sweet, but I think she's okay. I've only been apart from her for a couple hours. We're going to the vet right after this. So
is she here?
No.
Oh, I thought maybe you brought it like
no.
Not that you want to
Oh
leave her in the car or anything.
No. She's at her house chilling. She's fine. But fingers crossed all will go well.
So that's what's going on. Happy Monday to you guys. I feel like I'm a broken record because the Mets have now been in first place for 86 days, consecutive days.
It just doesn't feel
It doesn't
like
feel like it. It doesn't remotely feel like it.
No.
You know,
I don't know any first place team that's had so many bad losses.
Well, you know what's insane? You know, I think we talked about it. We definitely talked about it, how, you know, May and June is usually like the death sentence for this team. They got through it with the bench mob, you know, doing their thing, keeping us afloat. And we kept saying, don't worry, DeGrom's going to be okay. Don't worry, Syndergaard's coming back. Don't worry, Cookie, who did come back on Friday.
Yeah.
We always had this like, hey, don't worry, the guys are waiting in the wings. Let's get through the McKinneys and
the Drurys, who are now the
Drury's
biggest part of the team.
Mike Trout, you know. You know, let's get through it. And then once everyone's healthy, things will click. And, you know, once we get Conforto back.
And once we get to the trade deadline and they get us more help.
Right. So, I mean, the trade deadline did come and go. I'm very excited that they did get Baez.
I am as well.
We don't think that it was enough.
No, not even close.
So, you know, when you knew, not we, but when the team knew that DeGrom was going through what he's been going through, which has been up and down, he's been hurt, he's been set back and whatnot, why they didn't do more to help the starting rotation is beyond me. But we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
Oh, we might get Syndergaard back in September.
It's
so isn't that the same
like
thing as making a trade? That's the old way of thinking.
So we thought.
Yeah.
This is why I asked last week. I said, you know, at least we have owners that we think will do whatever. And then I remember when I posted the show on Twitter afterwards and I posed the question, do you trust Steve Cohen at the trade deadline? It was like, well, why wouldn't you trust him? He said nothing. And I'm like, well, we've never had him at a trade deadline, so I don't really know. And I'm like, and again,
you know, Sandy's not a baseball guy. Not Sandy.
That's what
Sandy
I was going to say.
Is the baseball guy.
Steve doesn't make the baseball decisions. I totally get that. That's fine. But at the same time, we thought that the thought process of, okay, well, an injured pitcher is coming back. That's basically a trade acquisition. We thought that was like of the old regime, but
right.
Maybe a lot of this is Sandy and we just didn't realize it.
I mean,
so
to their credit, they did make a move before the deadline with bringing Hill in. You know, a little extra help in the rotation.
Dick Mountain,
the veteran, coming through, you know, doing what he can to, you know, help the rotation. But when you're looking at this team on paper before the season starts and you're like, all right, best pitcher in baseball is on our side.
Yeah.
He hasn't been healthy for any stretch, really. He's coming in, he's doing 2 or 3 starts and he's shut down again. And I've been saying this since spring training.
Yep.
And I don't want to be right.
I know, but you have been saying
I don't want to be right about this,
Yeah.
but you can't. Your body physically can't do that. Dating back to spring training, he's throwing 100 miles an hour consistently. I remember I was sitting there watching one of those spring training games, and I tweet something out. It was like the first 10 pitches. It was like 100, 102, 101, 99, 101, 100. And it's like, dude, what are you trying to prove?
Yeah.
It's March.
Yeah. Chill.
You know, chill out. But
save it.
I don't know if it's one of those things where once you can do it, can you not dial it back?
I don't know. I think certain athletes, certain competitors, when they hit their stride, I don't know how you turn it off without doing more damage.
Yeah, I don't know. So I had something here. I was going to pull it up because I wanted to talk about the month to month here, because Disha put out a tweet. I think it was yesterday.
I was just going to say that when you were mentioning May and June, because they've actually done their best in May, which is when I feel like everyone was hurt. Yeah. That was their best month of the year.
How they're able to stay afloat is nuts.
Crazy.
So, Disha here put out a tweet yesterday. In April, they were 9-11. In May, they were 17-9.
That's insanity.
Without May, the Mets would just be a very mediocre. They would be just like the rest of the NL East.
Yeah. Are they even over 500? Math is hard. I can't tell.
Well, now they are. Yeah.
Well, no, but without May.
Oh no. Without May, they would be below 500 by one game. So yeah, not good.
Without the bench mob.
Without the bench mob doing their thing.
Crazy.
Bench mob has been insane. So Friday night, black jerseys. I was at a campsite up in Lake George.
I was in a depressive episode, but it's fine.
You were in what?
In a depressive episode. I didn't go.
Okay. Yeah. Were you supposed to?
Did
you get tickets?
No, but I was thinking about it because I could have. I didn't have work that night, and all week I was kind of considering it, but I had a very bad week, and I was just, I'm going to stay home instead. But because I remember thinking that morning, I was like, I am in the worst mood of my entire life. If I go all the way there, my body is so exhausted just to watch. I knew, I'm like, they're either going to have one of the best wins of the season or like one of the worst losses. I don't know if it was one of the worst losses because they've had a lot of bad losses, but that game sucked. So
Friday was very underwhelming.
I was very happy I didn't go.
Amelia doesn't stay up till like the game is over. So I was able to catch the end of it. It's weird. Like, camping isn't what it used to be. Like now I'm hanging out in, the camper with Wi-Fi watching TV. It was actually cold. So like usually we'd have the AC on, but like it was pretty cold. It was like 50 degrees up there. So it's camping, like you're sleeping in the woods, but you're not really camping.
You have Wi-Fi and a TV.
Yeah, so I'm like hanging out watching the game. Unfortunately, Mets lost. I know Lizzie was there. She got to go to the game on Friday, and I was listening to Howie yesterday, not to fast forward here, but he's been bringing this up a lot because I listen to the games a lot on the radio.
Yeah.
I happen to be driving, listening, either leaving here or whatever.
Especially on the weekends, you're always
I'm always all over the place. So Howie brought up, he's bringing this up a lot. He's questioning why the fans aren't coming out in droves to Citi Field, and he's mentioning, like, I understand the world is what it is right now, but he mentions other markets like the Cubs, who just traded away like everybody. They're still drawing well because the Cubs are the Cubs and Wrigley's Wrigley, and it's going to be busy no matter what. But other teams aren't having the same issues as the Mets to get the fans back.
Yeah,
and they I don't have the attendance number in front of me. I think Lennon put it up last night. Let me see. I think maybe I liked it or something just so I can remember where it was. David Lennon.
You liked my tweet about it, so it should be in there. Because I saw that and I was like, Darren's making notes for the game.
Yeah, I do that on purpose to like make reminders.
I always know when I get a like from the 7 Line account like late in the week, I know, okay, Darren's going to bookmark this. He's going to show it
so I can remember to talk about it. Oh, here it is. So yeah, Lennon at DP Lennon on Twitter wrote the official attendance for Saturday night's game, which included the Hall of Fame inductions, was only 26,477, which he would have expected a bigger crowd for that, and a perfect night weather-wise too. And people have been chiming in his comments here about like the reasons why, and it's for a lot of people it's price.
Yeah,
price and convenience.
The tickets are still very expensive.
Yeah. Like, I really wish we talked about this last week. I wish I would have taken part in that like 80% off Pete Alonso deal. Not that I want to sit up in, no offense to the corner of the 500 levels in the outfield. 500 is a great level when you're in the center, like right in the back.
Yeah, in the middle, it's good.
Right behind home
plate.
But
anywhere else, you have obstructed views. Everywhere.
I went back there once just to do it, just to be like, I've been in this seat.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's not good.
Upper deck, left field, you're like behind the out-of-town scoreboard.
You can't see anything below. That's where I was sitting opening day, and we couldn't. I think Dom Smith was playing right field. We couldn't even see him the whole game. Yeah. So, not the best seat, but yeah, if you want any sort of good seat, and it's still, I mean, it's always kind of been this way where if you're buying on like StubHub or TickPick or something or whatever, like lots of times tickets will sell in even numbers. I'm finding it's even harder to find odd numbers now, and I don't know why, but it was very hard with the pod seating because the pods were only really sold in even numbers, but it's still very difficult for some reason. I'm finding, like, when I'm looking, it's like you can't. I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. It's just not convenient to get tickets for the amount of people you're trying to get tickets for. I don't know.
After a couple of weeks ago, 317, 318 is like the best seat in the house, right in front of Howie and Wayne. Howie, speaking of Howie, was a great sport. You saw he rocked the black jersey.
I saw. He did say he lost a bet, and that was why he had to wear it.
Is that what it was?
That is the story. I think Wayne or Steve or somebody reported was that he lost a bet. And
I think
was
that
not his own choice, but he is a good sport nonetheless.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. I mean, because he was so adamant to be on Twitter, whenever this topic would come up, he would mention like how against it he was.
Yeah.
But he was a good sport. I don't know if they made him like a one of a kind. I don't see a number on there. Maybe they just had one that they would give out to certain people to shoot photos.
Could just be the giveaway shirt. I don't know what the giveaway shirt looked like.
No, I have the giveaway shirt right here.
It's the Lindor, right?
Yeah, it's an actual jersey. He got the real thing. You don't give Howie a jersey. So
well, if he's never going to wear it again.
Howie tweeted out on Friday night, terms of surrender complete. Well, if you can't beat him, join him. And, it's nice to see him, kind of, not that he has to stay with the times, but like, I think it came to the point where if all this majority of the fan base wants this, we get behind it.
It's very nice when, especially people of like an older generation, a bit more, and Howie's not totally traditionalist. He's very, good with the times. But it's very nice to see them be like, okay, this isn't so serious. We can have fun with it. I don't need to be like a get off my lawn type of person about it. So we love Howie.
I mean, the game was a bummer, but it seemed that did you read these notes yet? Don't yet, if you didn't.
No.
Because I got a question for you.
Okay.
It seemed like most fans were very fired up about it. Most, I get it, not everyone, but a lot of people were very fired up about it. So I did reach out to my contacts over at the team today because I was curious. I saw the photos from the team store. The team store account doesn't generally get that much traction.
Right.
But when they were posting the photos of like the wall of jerseys that were available.
Because that's the only place you could get them right now. They're not for sale online.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
No, not until the fall.
But they had like John Franco. They had Mike Hampton. They had like different guys. They were smart on their part.
They didn't have Fonzie.
You know what? I found out.
That made no sense.
The way licensing works is when guys retire, they have to either opt in or opt out of certain licensing agreements for their likeness. So like I wanted to make a Tommy Agee. Remember in the upper deck left field where Tommy Agee hit the home run at Shea Stadium, like the longest home run at Shea. Yeah. I wanted to make a shirt very simple that just looked like that. And I guess when he retired, he never agreed to have his likeness used for merchandise. So we can't make an official Tommy Agee shirt.
Okay.
So I don't know why they didn't have a certain
That better be the reason. Otherwise, it's stupid.
I'm pretty sure that's the reason.
Okay.
That's the explanation I got so far. Because I only started digging in on this recently, like an hour ago. So the top 3 jersey sales, which were very close between all of them, who do you think the top current Met t-shirt jersey sale, whatever you call it, like the jersey t-shirt, because they don't have the jerseys available yet this weekend at Citi Field?
I feel like Lindor, just because it's Lindor, but also that was a giveaway, so I don't know. Pete, just because Pete's been so like adamant about it.
Okay.
How many are we doing? Top
3.
And then I don't know. I'm torn between like Dom Smith, Marcus Stroman, and Jacob deGrom, but I'm gonna go Jacob deGrom just because it's Jacob deGrom.
You're actually right on all 3. So Pete was number 1. Pete was number 1. Lindor was 2nd, and deGrom was 3rd. And actually, when I was talking to them about this, I said that is pretty crazy because they gave out like 13,000.
I was gonna say that was a giveaway.
Lindor t-shirt jerseys. And then they just went and bought it. It's like identical as this one, besides the New Balance logo on there.
Well, you know what? I will say a lot of people didn't get that. I know Michelle and Erica went to the game and they hit traffic. They got there a little after 6 and they didn't get one. So maybe the people who missed out on the giveaway needed to go buy their own.
So I was upset
a lot of people
because we got our 2 that we're giving away actually right now. And I liked this so much. I wanted to keep it. I was like, damn, I only got 2. I don't want to give this away. But Lizzie was able to grab me one. So I'm not as upset anymore. So if you guys are interested in getting one of these Lindor t-shirt, they're not jerseys because I think the jerseys usually get the button up. It's like,
no, jerseys is the t-shirt. Yeah.
Right. So the
it's a
Francisco Lindor shirt that the Mets gave away on Friday. We have 2 to give away. All you have to do right now is share the show if you're watching it on Facebook.
Snap it to the chat.
I know. I gave you a prop. I gave you props. Not snap it to your chat. Post it on your wall.
Post it on your wall.
And that's how you're in the running if you're watching on Facebook. If you're watching on Twitter, just hit the retweet button and we will select 2 random people to win these. We will name you next Monday on the show.
And what size are they? Just so people know. I think they're all
This
XL.
is a large. I'm not sure what size. That's why I want to keep it. I don't know what size the other one is, but whatever. I think they're either large or extra large.
Yeah.
If they're too big, you wear like
cut
double
it in a crop top.
Do you wear like double XL?
Mm-hmm. I do, so I could cut it into a crop top.
2XL or XL?
1XL.
You're insane.
And then I just cut it under wherever like the print is. And then it's like a cute, loose, form-fitting t-shirt that I don't sweat in.
Oh, okay.
I don't like form-fitting t-shirts when we're out hot at outings because then I sweat too
much. When we're doing the Philly stuff, we're like, Julie needs to get a t-shirt. She wants an XL. I'm like, she bringing somebody?
No.
Yeah.
I
so
just
Julie
like to
rocks
cut my
the
shirts.
XL. I'm down to a large. and Julia's wearing XL. So Philly's this weekend. You're going.
I am.
How are you getting there? Taking the bus?
No, me and Katie are driving up with her mom. We want to stop at Insomnia Cookies before the game because we read that they have a speakeasy. If you say a password, they bring you into the speakeasy that has like a secret menu with secret milkshakes.
What?
So that's what we're doing.
So wow, you're actually adding like an extra 4 hours of driving round trip instead of taking the rally bus to get a milkshake.
That is the plan.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So are you leaving on Saturday or are you going Friday?
No, we're leaving on Saturday. We're doing all on Monday. So.
All right. So we'll get to the pregame info in a little bit. If you missed that, I tweeted about it last night. So we're going to get Joe DeMayo on here in a little bit to talk a little bit about the Kumar... what do you want to call it? It's not a bust because it's like
he's not a bust. It's just the whole draft ended up being a bust
is a bust.
Joe will explain why, because there were reasons to avoid it being as much of a failure as it was.
And I feel like a lot of Mets fans from reading Twitter over the past 12 hours, 24 hours, whatever it's been since we've heard that this is probably going to fall through. There's no one really in the middle. It's either like, hey, you understand that this is the way business works, but you don't like the way the team went about it, and then Steve Cohen going on Twitter writing what he wrote. But then there's other guys in the side fence, that guys and gals, fans, whatever, that are saying this seems like very same old Mets.
Yeah. So can I just say for the record,
you can say whatever you want.
At first, I thought it was like, okay, well, that's just business. Sometimes these things happen. How would they know that he, had a bad arm, whatever? Then you start reading more. That's what I cannot stress enough is if you don't understand why people are mad about something, before you go on and like ask people, why are you mad about this? Just like do a Google search because there's usually a good reason people are mad about something. So you look into it. And again, Joe is going to explain this better than I can, but there was every chance in the world, one, for the Mets to kind of anticipate that this was going to happen. And two, if it was a possibility, not to have put, so to speak, all of their eggs in one basket in the draft, and they could have done more and whatever. But then what really pissed me off was, and like, I understand Steve Cohen does not make these baseball decisions. I understand that. But him going on Twitter and saying, I forget what the direct quote was, but something like, if I can get a return on my investment.
5 times the investment. I make that every day, basically.
Right. And say like, and I understand that baseball players are investments for the people who sign them. I get that. But what a shitty look to hours after the people you hired fucked this up, for lack of a better term, to then go on Twitter and call the minor leaguers who you promised to come out with these ways of how you're going to help their living conditions. Yes, we heard that something has been put in place, but he said a comprehensive response was going to be announced. That is yet to happen. And in the meantime, to go on Twitter and refer to them as, returns on your investments and as commodities, it's really not a cute look. And I don't know what the point of it was. I think it just caused more harm than good. I think it's one of those situations where, again, even if it's true, you don't have to say it. You don't need to talk all the time, especially not when Mets fans are in the thick of their response. And it's just even more frustrating. This is a very
passionate fan base.
It is.
So it's the kind of thing where you have to almost read the room. It's like, understand what there's a time and a place for everything. There's certain ways to like, hey, the Mets are getting blown out. Make a joke about it. But like, hey, there's always tomorrow. It's not like football where there's like one game a week.
Right.
Hey, the Mets they lost yesterday. And guess what? There's a game tonight, and we're all going to be locked into it.
Right. But I think also with this, you're also coming off of you fucked up the trade deadline too. And again, I know Steve Cohen doesn't make the baseball decisions, but it's the people that you hired who screwed up the draft, who should have done more at the trade deadline and didn't, and people are still mad about that. And it's, when Steve Cohen came in, he talked about how he wanted to build back up the farm system, and it's like, the one trade you made, which albeit I'm okay with it. Like I wanted Javi Baez, but you traded away your number 1 pick from last year. You traded, or not you traded away, but Jared Kalanick isn't here anymore. So there is no farm now, and you screwed up the draft. The only farm that there is at Citi Field is the freaking raccoon that is in the Mets bullpen, which, by the way, justice for Francisco Lindor, who may not have actually punched Jeff McNeil in the face. There could have just been a raccoon in the clubhouse. Who knows? There's just a lot happening, and the tweet was just not, it was not it. So I'll stop screaming now.
Actual Mets talk. Let's go. Speaking of the Mets, shout out to our friends from Dugout Mugs who upgraded greatly on their business, because they were always doing as they are the the originators of the bat mug, but they switched up the game and they actually are making metal bat mugs now. If you guys missed out, we talked about this last week. Their pre-sale on their website, I think, expired, but they extended the one for us. So if you go to dugoutmugs.com/7line, just the number 7LINE, you can get in on one of these metal bat mugs, which are freaking awesome. Take a look at these things if you're watching live. They are a metal bat mug with a top on it, a plastic top on it. So unlike their wooden ones, you can actually close these, take them on the road, bring them in your car. They're not going to worry about spilling. Keeps your beverage hot or cold, and they're 20 ounces tall, or they hold 20 ounces of liquid there. So they have every single team that you can possibly imagine, but you probably want to select the Mets one if you're watching the show. They are up right now at a discount, 40% off.
Wow.
Which is crazy. So go on over to dugoutmugs.com/7line. They extended the pre-sale price just for us. It's $29.99. They are normally $50. So head on over. They are awesome. I can't wait to get mine. I got you one too, Julia.
Oh, thank you.
So we got 2 coming in. They should be here very soon. Travel friendly. They are dishwasher friendly, but they don't recommend it. But head on over to Dugout Mugs, check out everything they got going on over there, and pick up your metal bat mug before the pre-sale's over, because you're going to want one of these. And why spend $50 when you can get in the door right now for $29.99? Dugoutmugs.com/7line. They got the MLB license, the MLBPA license, the Cooperstown license. If you're not interested in the metal mug, you want to just pick up something else that they got on their site. They always are running different promos, and they are great friends of the show. So shout out to them. That's awesome. I knew about this for a while, and I kept saying to you, like, oh, I love the wooden ones. I like the shot mugs. I like the bottle openers and everything, but they got something cool coming out.
No, this is cool. And if I can get
it's like a tumbler on crack.
If I can get it by Saturday, I can bring it to Insomnia Cookies. I can put my milkshake in it. It'll stay cold, and I can bring it to the game.
You probably would.
I know.
That would be a great promo for them. Like, check this out. We're putting a milkshake in here, and it's going to be cold until like the 7th inning.
Dugout Mugs, call me. I got it. I can have it by Saturday. I will work something up for you.
You know, that's funny too, because when we were talking about, not to bring up, a sore subject with you, when I was talking with the Impractical Jokers guys.
Yes.
When we were talking about, let's meet up and do something, like, I was like, you know what? I think that
next time I'm around.
I was like, I don't want it to be too forced. I don't know I like the show. I don't want it to be like cheesy, but you're like, are you nuts? I would have easily been able to figure something out.
100%. You just make a TikTok, Darren. It's very easy.
I'm not a TikTok guy.
Neither am I.
Speaking of TikTok, what do you think of my Crocs? Are Crocs, do you hate Crocs?
I'm sorry. I just needed a minute to process that sentence. I didn't even realize you were wearing Crocs, for being honest. I personally don't own them. I think they are either for people under the age of 14 or over the age of 40. So you're right on the cusp.
I'm 40, so there you go.
I think you're good.
Because I came to the realization, Amelia wanted them. I'm like, I want them too. And so Kelly refuses still that I can't wear Toms.
Okay.
So Toms are out. But Crocs, she's like, all right, I could deal with Crocs. So after I got them on Thursday before our trip, I've been wearing them constantly. I rode my bike in them. I'm ready to go, and I'm in the Croc life now.
You even have pins.
Well, Amelia got the like a bag of them, and she gave me the one, like a peace sign one. They're a little dirty though. I got to clean them up. So I came to the point in my life that I don't give a fuck anymore. So I care about my appearance, obviously. Like, I want to be healthy.
I came to the point where I don't give a fuck.
I don't.
Darren Meenan on Crocs.
I don't. They aren't nice. They're ugly, but they're comfortable, and
they're practical.
They're very practical.
At a certain age, that's all you need.
I want to give a shout out to
Crocs.
Not just Crocs. I want to give a shout out to Katie.
Yes.
Not that Katie doesn't care about her appearance, but she goes out. She goes out in like pajamas and stuff, which I think that's so cool. Like, some people be like, they're not confident enough to do that. So like, she'll go out like, fuck it. I work crazy hours. Yeah. I'm a nurse.
I'm going out in what's comfortable.
I'm going out in my sweatpants or my pajamas, and she wears Crocs, I think.
Yeah. I know Jamie and Jared definitely have Crocs.
So like, they're saying I'm comfortable and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, completely.
So I'm at that point.
She's one of those people who I found the most ridiculous. They're lobster flip-flops. They're literally they look like actual lobsters, but you can wear them on your feet. And I just anonymously sent them to her house with just like a note that said LMAO. And she wears them all the time.
I have sneakers that look like crocodiles. I don't know. I never worn them.
You have crocodiles and Crocs.
Yeah, but those are like legit. They're like one of 100 pairs made by Vans for this BMX thing I went to. And I traded a guy a BMX frame for one, and he gave me the sneakers. So like, he wanted the frame really bad, and I wanted those sneakers. Like, I don't even wear them. They're in my office.
We were doing so good talking about the Mets for so long.
It's all good. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so Crocs. The reason why I
Let us know how you
transitioned
feel
from
about Crocs.
TikTok was
Yes.
we're at the campsite.
Mm-hmm.
Those are sick, right?
God! Look at this.
Look how awesome these sneakers are. I never wore them.
Why did Lizzie know exactly where they were in the 7-line warehouse?
Because I have them in my office. These things are so sick. Check these out.
Oh my God.
So we're looking around
They
at
have
the
teeth.
Yeah, they're so sick. The
you
paper
worn
is still no, the paper's still in. I've never worn them. I tried them on once just to see, and I'm probably not going to wear them unless I go on like a
I'm leaving it on
airboat one
display.
day. Maybe I'll wear them. But the TikTok. So we're at the campsite, and we're noticing like the kids that were there.
Yes.
Don't even care about being in the woods.
Oh no, it's an
they were just
aesthetic for their TikToks.
They were like, the parents like, go play at the playground. They went to the playground, but they're just doing TikToks all the time. Crazy.
They got to work on their brand.
All right. So we are going to get Joe DeMayo in here in a little bit to talk about the Mets because we're talking about Crocs and TikTok right now. But the Hall of Fame was Saturday, and I was wrapped up with doing camp stuff, so I wasn't able to watch the ceremony. I don't even know if it was streamed.
Very nice. It was streamed, and it was very well done. Yes.
It wasn't just on SNY TV.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Was it on television?
It was on television. I watched it on
I know it was on TV, but I don't know if you watched it like signing in through SNY.
No.
If you could watch it online. I don't know.
I don't know. I watched it on like cable SNY TV. So I don't know. But it was very nice.
Bobby V was there. Mike Piazza was there. Ray Ordonez was there, which he looked like he packed on a couple pounds.
He's entitled.
He doesn't give a fuck. He got to the point where he was like, I'm Ray Ordonez.
This episode, Ray Ordonez does not give a fuck.
I don't give a F. Like, I'm doing it. I'm retired, and I don't care. So I love it. Tell me about it because you watched the whole thing.
Yes.
Give me a quick recap. Tell me what I missed.
It was very nice. The only thing I will and it's not even a criticism, I don't really care, but they started it at 6:45, which was not enough time. Apparently the game was supposed to start at 7:30, but no one really knew that. There were like people, like beat writers for the Reds who were like annoyed about it, but whatever. It was very nicely well done. So Howie gave like a small introduction as they all walked out, and then they had, when they were going through each individual player, like a video montage that was narrated by one of the people that were there with them, which was really, really nice. So I loved it. Ron Darling's, I thought, well, obviously was going to be my favorite, but because it was narrated by Keith and Gary and Keith, it was very, very sweet. So I thought it was very well done. That's really the only criticism, and it's not really a criticism, is just that like they should have either made it more clear that the game wasn't starting at 7:10 for people who care about that or whatever. But again, it was just really frustrating because there was no one in the freaking stands. The people who were there did a very good job of like being loud and whatever, but it was like, you're watching, I'm like, I'm so sad. It's like so empty for no, like and all of those players are great and deserve to have the stands back. But like Ron Darling has literally been with the team. You listen to him every night. Like he's somebody who he himself could have sold tickets if you just advertise it properly. So I'll always be annoyed about that. But it was a very nice, very well done ceremony.
Well, speaking of advertising, the Mets did actually already start. They kind of like are indirectly promoting the next big day, which is the Koosman retirement.
Okay, at least they're talking about it.
3 weeks. Well, kind of. They changed their Twitter profile, like AVI, whatever, their default to the number 36. The Mets will be retiring Koosman's number on August 28th at Citi Field. So, it's one of those things where everyone thinks that like we're in the Mets pocket, so like we're not allowed to criticize them. Right. And when we do, it's like, hey, well, this is weird. The headline's criticized, but like, I'm not trying to do anyone's marketing for them. I didn't go to the game. I was busy, but like, it's tough for me to be like, oh, I wish more fans went when I didn't go.
Sure,
but like, I didn't even know about it.
Yeah,
until last week when I was at out in Sayville and I saw it behind the plate. So it's the kind of thing where I understand marketing is a little tricky, especially now. Some people still are working from home. Right. And I don't really understand how things work on that side of it. But how hard they pushed on the Mets Friday. It was almost like nauseating to a point where like I started to like not even care about it as much because it was kind of forced down our throats. Yep. Well, I'm wearing a black shirt right now. Like I like it. I like the way it looks, but it's almost not that it's phony, but from the outside looking in as a fan, you'd be like, well, they're probably pushing more on Friday night because they're going to sell these jerseys and they're going to get something out of it.
And not only that, that was also the day of the trade deadline. So no matter what happened, it was a good distraction. It's like, oh, we're going to have fans in the ballpark anyway. They're going to be excited. Black jerseys, Mike Piazza, whatever. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, I did watch it was nice of either the Mets or SNY. They did put it up afterwards, like the narration from Keith Hernandez, which I thought was great.
Really nice.
And I can't remember who tweeted it. It may have been you or somebody. Maybe you retweeted it. Like the beginning of the day when they're on the field. Okay, so like Ron didn't do the game. He got to celebrate that night and enjoy it from a suite or something. But Gary and Keith were like dressed
so put
nice,
together,
had their suits, no ties, but I don't think. But
the funnier part about it was as soon as they got back to the booth, Gary still had his jacket on, but Keith had already stripped. His sleeves are rolled up to here.
Yeah,
he just looks like so exhausted by the day. Did you?
Have a great day, pretty boy. Good.
That was not on purpose.
Bullshit.
I swear to God, I put batteries in it this morning. I didn't know it was set.
As we're talking about Keith Hernandez.
And I hope you have a great day, pretty boy. Good morning. Right.
Does it stop?
Oh my God.
How do I turn this on?
I don't know.
No. Okay. So, if you don't know, this is the Keith Hernandez alarm clock from.
I think it was a Cyclone Seinfeld
It's a Cyclones
night.
giveaway, but I didn't know it was. Hopefully, I didn't. I just set the time. I swear to God.
I'm crying. I thought you like pressed a button and made that happen.
No. So we got sidetracked.
That
here.
was pure magic. What we just went.
That was awesome. So that was the giveaway. On Friday night when the Mets were losing, they started talking about that. And I was like, hey, I got a few of these.
Yeah, and Gary's wife really wanted one.
Really?
Yeah, apparently she likes like gimmicky things. But
the Cyclones were smart. The next day, they must have had a box of them or something. They tweet about that they have them.
Oh, wow.
So I guess they're giving them away on Twitter. So I don't even know where we got here, but that's the alarm clock.
Keith and Gary's shirts.
Yeah. So they look disheveled by Saturday night.
Yes, that's
But, I tweeted about this yesterday. The Mets were one strike away from being swept this weekend.
Yeah.
So Dom Smith thankfully came through in the ninth, tied the game, and now we're not seeing like 15-inning games anymore.
I know.
Jury came through. Mets walked it off. Saturday was a success. Yesterday sucked. So they're going to Miami tonight. They're going to be playing 4 straight against Miami. Next weekend, they're going to be in Philly. So, like, the Marlins stink, but they're always a thorn in our side.
And we say it every week. They need to win this week. Well,
no shit.
But, they haven't
But
been.
it's nuts, too, because, look at this. They are 55-49, first place in the East, 6 games over 500, and they are 3.5 over Philly. They've always been about 3.5 or 4 or 5
games.
Since May.
It's so stupid.
It's crazy.
Because they can't themselves get on a damn winning streak.
Right.
They're not even winning series at this point.
Uh-huh.
It's the Marlins.
It's the Marlins.
Don't lose to the freaking Marlins. I'm so tired.
A split is unacceptable here. They have to go down and either sweep or go 3 or 4. And then the same in Philly. You got to take 2 or 3. You cannot lose series. It's getting late early.
Because this
and
will do them in.
It's not even late. It's not even early anymore. It's August.
It's late.
And I don't want to tell it, if you haven't seen the schedule yet, it's not getting any easier.
Yeah.
This is the easy week right here.
But that's the thing is you fuck up against the Marlins, and let's just say the Phillies have a good week. All of a sudden, you're playing for first place this weekend.
Right.
And those games,
my God, Saturday night.
Yeah.
Now should I wear Crocs to the game?
Do you want to make yourself more of a target in Philly to get beat up?
I think I might just, it's going to be hot. I think it's like 90 degrees.
That's fine.
I'm rocking Crocs. I might cut the sleeves off the t-shirt.
Let's
and just
do it. Make it a crop top, baby. Let's do it. I'll teach you how.
I'm not Stevenson over here. I'm whatever. So we are going to get to Joe in a second.
Oh, yes. I forgot we have Joe
Joe
here.
is here. But let's give a quick shout out to our friends over at Coors Light. I partook in quite a few Coors Lights this weekend. I was enjoying myself responsibly. I wasn't driving anywhere. I was hanging out at the campsite and enjoying the Coors Lights. I stocked up ahead of time, so I was definitely prepped and ready to go. I bought my beer online, had it delivered last week, stocked up the RV, and I did my thing. So go to CoorsLight.com/OABT. We have our own little fancy URL now.
Fancy.
CoorsLight.com/OABT is where you got to go. You type in your zip code. Let's put in the one here. And then what you do is hit the search button, and then it tells you where you can pick up your beers. So Minibar, Drizzly, Instacart. You can do your thing, get it delivered. You get a discount. If it's your first time ordering on Instacart, for instance, I know this isn't going to pop up because I just opened a new tab, but if you started an account with Instacart, you get free delivery today on your first order. So head on over, Coors Light, great friends of the show. Always remember to celebrate responsibly, whether you're kicking back at the campsite, getting ready for this 4-game sweep against the Marlins, prepping the road trip vehicle to stop an insomnia cookies on the way, maybe have a couple Corona. No, not coronavirus, obviously, I was saying. Not thinking about coronavirus.
Of course.
If you want your Coors Lights, definitely stock up and get ready to enjoy the weekend. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy the weekend, and do your thing. So Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Always remember to celebrate responsibly. Let's bring in our buddy.
There he is.
The good Joe DeMayo, who probably wasn't shit on this week. Were you?
No, I was good. I made it through. I think, Julia, you're okay too?
Yes, thankfully, no poop on my face this week. So far, so good.
So speaking about poop on faces, do you think that the Mets have any poo on their face after yesterday?
Great segue.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a bad look. I mean, it's a really complicated thing that I don't know if we'll ever know the full story. You know, HIPAA and all the medical stuff that, like, I don't know if they'll ever come out and say, you know, this is what we found was wrong. But to me, it's a big picture MLB problem that has obviously hit the Mets hard this weekend. Pre-draft medical information is not really available. It's not required that prospects do any form of pre-draft medical things. It's optional. And most of the top prospects opt out. I mean, why go through it if you don't necessarily have to? Most of these kids know they're going to go very high. So I don't think Rocker was necessarily hiding anything. And Scott Boras actually has, you know, a good relationship with the Mets when it comes, especially to draft picks, where he's been kind of straight up with them. I mean, when they drafted Matt Allen a couple years back, he alerted them like, hey, guys, just so you know, there's something, you know, it might need Tommy John at some point in time. The Mets didn't mind, drafted him, signed him, and inevitably he had Tommy John surgery. And then last year they drafted JT Ginn in the second round, who got Tommy John a month earlier prior to the draft. So he had already gotten the surgery and was going through recovery. And when the Mets got Scott Boras on the phone to talk about drafting Rocker, they said, everything good medically? And Scott said yes. And they had a verbal agreement of sorts for $6 million. And that's obviously pending medical and everything like that. And the Mets brought him into New York for a physical with the preparation of, you know, rubber stamping it like normal and then having a press conference introducing him and everything. And it sounds as if they more or less just failed him on the physical and they were not willing to sign him regardless of what the price was. So it looks really bad now. I think there's no question about it. I don't know what they could have done necessarily to change it. Certainly not making excuses for him, but I don't know what they could have done differently other than just not draft him. But he fell to them at 10. And if they didn't draft him, you would have had me on and I would have been complaining that they didn't draft Kumar Rocker. Right. I sure as hell don't know anything about his medicals. So yeah, just a real convoluted situation where the Mets just look really bad right now.
So we're talking with Joe DeMayo, who does great things for both the SNY podcast that he hosts with Resnick and also on PSL to Flushing on Twitter. So, you know what's not funny about it? Well, it is kind of funny because it's the Mets. The guy already had a billboard in New York City, and I'm pretty sure that was a Vanderbilt. I think they paid for it. I don't think like the Mets gave the guy a billboard.
His school paid for that. They put one with him and Jack Leiter in Times Square too. So, I mean, Vanderbilt's got some money, so they can afford to put a couple of billboards up. Yeah.
So what I was gonna say was, you know, the guy had a billboard and now he's not even on the team. So it's crazy that like we're hyping the guy up. People seem to be very excited about it. I was trying to do my homework as well to try to learn the most that I could about, you know, who he was and what we're expecting for the future. But you know, what a crazy turn of events, because you have Baez signs with the Mets. Pete Crow Armstrong is no longer with the team. The Mets lose 2 out of 3, could have easily been swept. And then Sunday.
And the DeGrom news.
And the DeGrom news on Friday. And then Sunday we hear about this with the draft. So not a very good weekend for the Mets. And do you think that there might be, I don't want to put you on the spot here because Julia talked about this, I think maybe privately on Twitter, or maybe, I don't know if we just talked about it here, but the things that are above Steve Cohen's head as far as the baseball operations is concerned, like Sandy Alderson pulling the strings. Do you think that this is a little bit too fishy about like same old Mets, or is this just coincidence that things just happen and shit happens and things fall through?
I mean, it's the Mets, right? So I guess you have to kind of expect it, but man, it stinks when these things kind of line up so close sequentially. And, to me, the trade, it was okay. I mean, it was fine. Like, you had to give to get. I understood. The only part that bothered me was that they had the Cubs pay the salaries, which maybe if the Cubs didn't, you could have gotten him for a little less, little speculative, but that's typically how it works, is when the team pays the salary down, you have to give up more in prospect capital. But yeah, just overall a really crappy weekend. And, you don't have to tweet everything, Steve. I mean, I love him, but you don't have to tweet everything.
Yeah.
I saw that one, and that's not the best look. You don't want to be referring to players as investments. I mean, obviously they are. Like, let's not be naive.
Right.
It's an investment, but that's not how you want to refer them to. They're not a stock.
Yeah.
It's not Amazon stock. It's these are human beings that, you guys obviously have highlighted it, and I'm glad that it's really getting out there, the treatment of minor league players and the money, the lack of money that these guys make, and just the living situations and things like that. Like, I'm glad that that's really coming to light. And that tweet that you have up on the screen right now is, not a step in the right direction, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
So for those listening afterwards that don't get the visual here, Steve Cohen last night around 6:35 here, it says education time. So he's, trying to clue us in on what goes on behind the doors. Baseball draft picks are worth up to 5 times their slot value to clubs. I never shy away from investments that can make me that type of return. Do you guys both remember when Steve had his first press conference and he said, "This is not about making money to me"?
Yeah.
This almost seems like the opposite.
Right.
So I understand, sports are a very big
it's still
business.
A business.
No,
sure.
of course, it's a very big business.
Yeah.
I totally get it. I understand that the teams operate the way they do because it is a business. And, as fans, we do get fired up when we hear ownership or players or athlete or whoever is involved with the team talk in a way that gets us like excited.
Yeah.
And I was very fired up after that like November press conference. I think it was November.
Right.
But then to see this, not that I don't agree with what he's saying, like Joe said, it is an investment. You get it, but to put it in black and white there,
and also
on
just
Twitter,
the use
when
of
fans
the word "me."
Well, I guess so. The word "me," but like I understand where you're coming from too. But like like Joe said, and you said, there's a time and a place for everything. You don't have to tweet everything. And even though we know things are black and white, when it's actually out there and you read it and you see it, you don't get the same feeling as you did when you hear him say, "I just want to win. This isn't about money for me."
Right. But it's also just like, what the long story short of this tweet is, like, you don't know what I know. It wouldn't have made us money. It wouldn't have been good, blah, blah, blah. It just doesn't look good. I know he was trying. He thought he was going to like make fans feel better. I think that's why he
got like
tweeted
6,000 likes, but that could also be like, let me bookmark this.
Yeah, like you, like half the shit you like. So I don't know. It was not it for me.
So Joe, for us, I mean, I'm pretty sure that this, you can, talk to us like we're kindergartners here for a second.
Explain it to me like I'm 5.
What this means is that next year they get the 11th pick, basically.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So the normal rule is that in order to, and it's only for the top 3 rounds. So if you don't sign your 4th round pick, you don't get a compensatory pick. It's only in the top 3 rounds. And the normal rule would be you have to offer 80% of the slot value for the deal in order to get that compensation pick. However, there's a rule in there that says if the player opts to not do pre-draft medical, you don't have to offer him anything. And it sounds as if that's the route the Mets took. I know that there was some people on Twitter talking about they were haggling over some money. I do not believe this was a financially driven decision. Mm-hmm. I do think it was a medically driven one. Were the Mets right? Time will tell. And, ultimately, most guys get Tommy John or something eventually anyway. So if he goes and gets Tommy John in 3 or 4 years, to me, that's not the Mets being proven right. Mm-hmm. If he needs Tommy John next month, then okay, maybe we're having a conversation. But yeah, they'll have the 11th pick in next year's draft, in addition to their 1st round pick and, the rest of the picks they'll have. And if they make qualifying offers to someone like a Michael Conforto or Noah Syndergaard, and they leave as free agents, then you'll get, a compensatory draft pick for that. So the draft has a chance to be huge in 2022. They could have a lot of picks and, a lot of bonus pool room. But it'll be interesting to see how kind of the off season goes, because what you get too, I'm not explaining it like year 5. I'm explaining it like year 5. But yeah, they'll have the 11th pick next year.
Cool. Thanks, Joe. Thanks for coming on. Check Joe out on Twitter at PSL to Flushing. Does great stuff. Mets Perspective, like I mentioned before, on SNY, presented by Verizon. Wait, so do you guys get like free cell phones out of this or anything? It's presented by Verizon.
I don't even have a Verizon Polo. I'd take a Polo. That would work for me. But no, they're just sponsoring the show.
SNY, get this man a Polo shirt.
Joe, really quick, what are your thoughts on Crocs?
On Crocs?
Yeah, the shoes.
My best friend wears them all the time, and we make fun of him for it.
Oh, man. But is he 40?
He's 33.
There you go. So he's in that gap where you shouldn't be wearing Crocs.
I'm allowed now. Dude, I'm going to be 41 in November. I'm allowed to do whatever the fuck I want.
So what's the age gap? So what's the?
Julia said you have to be either
young people or old people.
Yes,
I think 13 and under.
14 or under, or 40 and older. So 14 to 39 is no bueno. So that makes sense. That checks out. Well, just wanted to get your opinion.
Darren, I'm glad you didn't do it a year ago.
Thanks, brother. All right, dude. Talk to you soon. Thanks for coming on.
Guys.
Hi, Joe.
Later.
Joe's great.
The best.
Yeah, it's either, shit, poop face talk or, Crocs. You get a little of everything here. Let's transition a little bit to some other, not weird, but the internet has transformed a lot over the years.
Yes.
Clearly, we're doing shows now. Joe's at his house and so on and so forth. Facebook, MySpace. I don't know if you remember, LiveJournal, all these random websites. Chat Roulette was the OG streaming,
yes,
but it was sketchy.
Very sketchy.
So Chat Roulette, for those of you who don't know, it was basically you gave access to your camera on your computer,
yes,
but you didn't know who you were going to talk to, hence the roulette part.
It was like a random FaceTime. You click a button and it'll just connect you. You're all of a sudden video chatting with a complete stranger. You can always just end it at any time, go to the next person, whatever. There were a lot of penises on this website is what I'm saying. So yes, this was a very sketchy website, not one I should have been on when I was young. My parents definitely did not know that me and my friend Kayla used to go on this website. But why we're bringing up Chat Roulette is because
crazy.
This is wild. And I don't know if this is true. So when I was 13, me and my
friend, so you don't. This isn't confirmed.
I don't know, but I'm 99.9% sure, honestly, because he was from California too, which is where he's from. So
okay.
Me and my friend Kayla would go on Chat Roulette when we were 13, and we would keep our mouths closed because we had braces, and we wanted guys to think we were 18. So. And there's a chat feature, so most people keep their volume off and you just talk in the chat, but you can see each other. So we ended up video chatting with this really hot guy named Trevor Williams, who was 18 at the time. And so we were just talking to him, and we convinced him we were 18 because with your mouth closed, you can't tell the difference. We had boobs at that point. Whatever.
Yeah, but you had to talk to him, right?
No, but you don't have to talk.
Type.
You can chat.
Oh, okay,
most people do that. So eventually, we talked to him for 2 hours, and we exchanged Skypes or whatever. So I'm like, all right, we go on Skype, the jig is up, but we did it. And he was like, oh, you guys are way too young to be talking to me.
At least he did the right thing.
Yes, he did the right thing. He's like, we can't talk anymore, whatever. And then never talked again. But his name was Trevor Williams.
Allegedly, because we don't know if this is confirmed.
Exactly. His name was Trevor Williams. We never forgot his name. I texted Kayla. I was like this week, I was like, what was the guy's name? He was like, Trevor Williams. But so whatever. He was 18 at the time, which is the same age difference between he and I now. I'm 25. He's 29. And I will be, around it's the same age difference. He's from California. This guy was from California. And I swear, if this guy, Trevor Williams, was 18, no beard, and had a Justin Bieber haircut, it was him. I know there's a screenshot somewhere and I just can't find it. I don't know. But I also just did not know there was a Trevor Williams in baseball. I feel like I would have realized this a long time ago, but my mind was blown when
That's
they got
crazy.
So I don't know. I know. Trevor Williams, if you watch this, did you very politely reject 2 13-year-old girls on Chat Roulette back in I don't know, 2009? I would love to know because that would be wild. But he is actually I was Googling him and trying to figure out I need a way to confirm this. His story is so wild. He's now married to a wonderful woman. And this is the other crimp in this story is he's super duper religious. They met at some sort of church group. I don't know if that kind of guy's on Chat Roulette. I don't know, but whatever. So They got married. They had a
well,
baby.
Roulette wasn't just like, it wasn't like a sexual
I
thing.
know, but still.
There's some creeps on these creeps anywhere, but like
it could have been him.
Yeah.
But so they got married, they had a baby, and then they were trying for a second child and they were having trouble conceiving. So they got on a list to adopt, and they had like a woman lined up. They were going to get this baby in July. And then like a few months before their adoptive baby was due, they got pregnant. So they have kids that are 5 months apart.
No way.
And they're like, one of them is, I think,
that's a lot of work.
Yeah. They're like babies. I think one of them is only, the youngest one is only like a year old. So he has his hands full. And then on top of everything, not only does he get traded, the second he got traded, he got optioned to AAA. So Trevor Williams and co. God bless.
Chat roulette.
Let me know if you're on chat roulette.
That's crazy. That is a crazy story. I hope it is true.
I know. He honestly, he was a very nice person back then. He seems to be a very nice person now. So I think it matches up, but I don't know.
That's phenomenal.
We'll probably never know.
Little page 7 news here for you guys.
We haven't. Why else is page 7?
We haven't done page 7, like a little gossip column here.
That was like the most PG page 7 of all time.
Yeah,
it's fascinating, I guess.
Totally. So want to let you guys know, if you're going to LA, they did extend the hotel room block by a week. So it was supposed to end last Tuesday. And then we were hyping it up, and then we promoted it a little bit, and people were trying to get through, but they stopped it early.
Okay.
So then they accidentally stopped it before the last deadline. They're like, all right, screw it. We're going to do an extra week. So the real deadline is tomorrow.
Wow.
We're going to be in LA in a couple weeks.
Did you figure out a pregame?
No.
Ooh.
And I don't want to be the bearer of bad news here, but there is nothing. I've been trying so hard to figure out what can we possibly do before this game. And the Dodgers do have an area where they like rent out a space in right behind the outfield, but you have to buy like a drink package for everyone that's going to go. And we didn't already we didn't charge anyone for that.
Yeah.
And I can't cover that for just to throw a good time.
Right.
So I don't know what we're going to do. Since we're staying at this gigantic hotel, I think there's over 200. Did I say last week how many rooms are blocked? Like over 200 rooms are booked. We might just meet there and be like, all right, this isn't our traditional pregame party. Of course, like we like to have the DJ and hang out and go crazy like we did in McFadden's, but maybe we'll just all go to the ballpark a little early, get to our seats, do our thing, kind of mingle that way.
Yeah.
It's not close to what I would expect our final National League ballpark to be, but I've exhausted almost every
I think it's right option. On par with how annoying it's been just to get this outing off the ground. So
there's nothing near there. Like you can't drink in the park, you can't tailgate, you can't walk there really. You can, but it would take like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're gonna do. Like, if something like lands on my table, I'll for sure let you guys know. But the LA pregame does not look that great. I think if you want to be a part of what we're doing, stay at the hotel, because then we'll all be together. We'll meet in the lobby and everyone kind of do their thing together.
What about Philly pregame?
Philly pregame. The deal is set. We talked about it last week. The geniuses over there that used to shrink wrap alcohol and get it into the ballpark. One of their buddies manages across the street at Xfinity Live. That's where we are going to be this Saturday. We're going to leave Citi Field at right around, I think 10 a.m.
Okay.
On our buses. So we should get to the ballpark right around 1. I'm hoping earlier.
Okay.
Wait, maybe 11 a.m. I don't know, whatever it is. Check the Rally Bus website.
It's on an email.
But it's on an email somewhere. Go read it or go to our website. But we are going to be at Xfinity Live, which if you've been there before, it's freaking... Have you been there?
Mm-mm.
It's gigantic. You walk in and there's like... It almost looks like a food court of bars.
Really?
In a good way.
That's fun.
So you walk in, there's like this bar's here, this bar's here. There's a bar right in the middle that's I think just like is nameless.
Cool.
And then there's different restaurants and so on and so forth. But if you are wearing your event t-shirt to Xfinity Live, every single bar, restaurant, whatever that's a part of that building is taking part in these specials.
Oh, wow.
So wear the t-shirt. It was designed by us, but the slogan and the idea of it was from Desiree. So shout out to Desiree.
Best shirt ever.
It's a take on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the 7-Line Army of Queens, Philly Road Trip 2021. Wear the event shirt and go to Xfinity Live. I'm not sure what time they open, but we're going to get there around 1. You can certainly go earlier if you want. And there is an outdoor space. So when you're looking at the building, Citizens Bank Park's on one side and the Wells Fargo Center is on the other, because everything's on that same block. So there's an outdoor space on the Wells Fargo area, Wells Fargo side. Meet there.
Okay.
So there's going to be a band playing, the drink specials, and so on and so forth. So the specials are, I have them written here on the site. They are $3 Bud Light and Michelob Ultra bottles and $5 call cocktails. So a call cocktail is like, Jack and Coke, whatever. So Jack, Captain, Smirnoff, and Gordon's I think Gordon's is, I don't know what that is. Maybe that's tequila, but yeah, because you got your Jack, you got your whiskey, you got rum with Captain, you got your vodka with the Smirnoff. So
Perfect.
I guess Gordon's is probably tequila. I don't know. Maybe it's probably tequila.
Fact checkers, let us know.
Fact checkers, let us know. I think Gordon is tequila. So you want to get your margarita or whatever. The specials are going to run until we go in. So we're probably going to wind down around 3:15ish, get to the seats in time, and have ourselves a great time out there at the ballpark. It's been our first time going back since 2015.
That was a rowdy time.
That was a
That
fun.
was 2014, no?
14. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
2014.
Way back.
David Wright with the walk-off, I think.
Heck yeah. Well, as close to walk-off as you can get on the road.
Oh, yeah. With the game-winning run or hit, or I don't know. He pointed up to us. That's all that mattered. And we had a good time. So head on down there. And Gordon's is gin. Thanks for the fact checkers in the comments checking in. We actually didn't ask the fact checkers to let us know where they're from. We're almost running out of time.
Where are you from?
So let us know where you're from real quick before we turn this thing off. We'll shout you guys out. And of course, we got to give a shout out to our friends over at Project Repat USA. They do great work.
Where are they from?
They are from either Texas or North Carolina. You can actually get your t-shirt quilt made from one of their facilities. Great business. Great freaking thing to do with your extra shirts. If you have extra t-shirts, extra jerseys, you did a benefit walk, you lost weight, gained weight, you want to honor a friend and get some of their favorite shirts and give it to them as a gift, whatever you want to do, head on over to Project Repat USA on Instagram. All you have to do is like their account and you're put in the running to win a free t-shirt quilt. They have over 500,000 happy customers. They take your old shirts, your old jerseys, your old polo shirts, whatever you want to use, and turn it into a very awesome t-shirt quilt. They give away one for free each month to a Mets fan that happens to like their Instagram account. All you have to do is be wearing something Mets related or have a photo that maybe you have at a ballpark. The way it works for Instagram, it keeps their followers in order when you're on the account side, like when you log in. So they're able to keep track of it that way. They do have a ton of followers, but it's easy for them to figure out who the Mets fans are. So Project Repat USA on Instagram, like their account, go to the website, projectrepat.com, get involved, pick one up if you don't win one for free. And
awesome. Oh, and really quick, speaking of Instagram, I want people to know that the prom series back to school drive is live. So
we're mailing ours out today.
Love that. So if you wanted to donate an outfit, make sure you go to @PromSeries on Instagram. Look at their recent posts, look at their recent stories. The address where to mail your outfit is there if you want to help out Tori Murphy, the wonderful work she is doing with Baseball Wives to help foster children.
So excellent. Thank you for that shout out. I forgot to mention it before. We are giving away this Francisco Lindor Mets t-shirt, jersey. We have 2 of them to give away. Just share the show right now to be in the running. We are also going to announce last week's winners. They are winning the 6-pack cooler that the Mets gave away. Shout out to the Mets for hooking us up with these promos lately. We appreciate it. So last week's winner on Twitter is @SMarkey31680. And on Facebook, Greg Eckert. We will hit you up today. I'll get your address and mail these out to you. So very important week, very important month on deck. The Mets have to get their heads out of their asses. Michael Conforto cannot be hitting 196 in this month.
Yeah, he's making me sad.
Qualifying offer. I mean, he's definitely not getting a deal after this performance.
Unless he turns it the fuck up from now through the playoffs, but I don't know.
So probably a good move on Steve Cohen's part to not give him the offer before the season to kind of make him prove his worth here. But 4 games against the Marlins. The Marlins are always a freaking thorn on our side. Then Philly, and we have 13 games against LA and San Francisco this month. So this month is make or break, do or die.
This week is a big week.
This whole month is a big week. I'm stressed out about it. I'm definitely going to go to CoorsLight.com/OABT and stock up on some Coors Lights.
Where are our friends from? We asked them.
We asked them, but we're running out of time. So I'm sorry about that. But
we love you.
We got Port Charlotte, Florida. We got Huntington. We got Baltimore. We have Jericho, New York, Binghamton.
Love it.
Oh, it's funny. Greg Eckert just checked in from on Facebook and he just won. So congratulations to Greg.
Love that for you.
All right, we're running out of time here. Thank you guys for everything. We got some stuff cooking for the 7 Line. New products coming out soon. So sit tight, stay tuned, and we will see you guys next week. See you in Philly. Don't forget to go to Xfinity Live Saturday. And maybe Julie will bring you a milkshake to the yard.
Or a crop top. I'll cut your shirts.
Put it in the box. Put it in the box. Let's go, Boogie.
That was a new one. That was
See you guys.
good. Bye.